So I was at a school today in downtown Atlanta. I'm working with some kids, and there was a little boy, third grade. Third grade. I don't know what happened. He was fine one minute. I knew a little bit about his history from what they told me. He had got kicked out of his last school. Next thing I know, he's flipping his chair over, and it was a girl sitting in the chair. Apparently, she was sitting in his chair. He didn't like it. She said something. He tried to flip her out the chair. Little girl, she was so innocent, super scared of him, even though he was smaller than her or just as small as her. Next thing I know, he picks up a tennis ball. He's on his way out. I'm grabbing him, trying to get a hold of him so I can go out in the hall and talk to him. He throws the tennis ball, pops this other little boy in the forehead. This little dude jumps up and is about to just knock him out. So I'm grabbing him. The teacher's grabbing him. I'm trying to get him out the room. The other guy comes who's like the dean, assistant principal type figure. And then he has the one boy. I had the other little boy. Little boy falls out on the floor. He's screaming. He's cursing. I mean, he's like, I'm gonna tell you what he said. Because when you say kids say profanity, it don't sink in. So pardon my language, but this is what he said. He was screaming. He was like, fuck y'all. Fuck this. I hate y'all. What did he say? He was like, let me go so I can hit that bitch. What did he say was the last thing he said? That's bad enough. But what was the last thing he said? I'm gonna knock that stupid hoe out. Wait till I get up. I'm gonna knock that stupid hoe out. Y'all can't hold me. Like, he was just going clean off. I had no idea kids could even have that much anger in them. So we take him downstairs. There's a Christmas tree up. On the way going by, he grabs a Christmas tree, slams the tree down, pops some of the ornaments. They call crisis. In Atlanta, crisis means police about to come get you, and at least try to, put you in some restraints, get you to calm down, or, just. So police grab him. We're in the room. We're talking to him, trying to get him to calm down. He's just yelling, yanking on the door. He's like, let me out, let me out, let me out. And then it starts coming out. The real issue starts coming out. He's like, why didn't y'all, what did he say? He was like, why didn't y'all get mad at her? Now he's screaming, crying this whole time. So I'm trying to reiterate the story, but you can't even get the emotion. You can't even get the full emotion from me telling you this. Next thing I know, like I said, the real issue starts to come out. He starts to say what's really on his heart. What's really on his heart. You got to learn to see kids past what they're saying. Some of them just, it's a need for attention. They're aggressive because there's some things that they haven't dealt with, some unresolved issues. Some of them just, without getting into my little therapy bag, there's a deeper issue that's creating these behaviors, right? There's a calling. There's something he's searching for, something that he needs. And it comes out, he's like, y'all didn't do nothing to her. Y'all always messing with me. Take me to jail then. Everybody hates me. Why do y'all hate me? And it was just like, you could see his little world, like his heart just kind of opening up. And the feelings of not being heard, the feelings of, people don't care about me, the feelings of y'all don't love me. And these teachers are really amazing. I can tell he's insulated at the school by love, but the teachers are not his parents. They're not. So I said all of that, and I had to frame that story to get to one simple point. I don't have no kids. I don't need no kids to say this. For parents watching this, damn, and I hate to say it, but especially parents raising little boys where the father's not there, and you struggling financially, and he doesn't have some men around him to kind of really pull from and learn from and be corrected by. Moms, dang, it sucks that I even want to tailor this to moms, because I don't. I wish that wasn't the reality that I even had to say that, but I'm gonna say it. Moms, you gotta keep a deep, close, emotional connection with your boys. You gotta ask them how they feeling. You gotta keep a temperature gauge every day. You gotta watch them, learn them, observe, and pay attention to the signs. Do you feel loved? Are you loved? Do you hug them enough? There's a lot of people who, let's be real, and I ain't just trying to make this a black thing. There's a lot of people who never learn how to really connect emotionally to anybody, who then have kids, and then they can't connect emotionally to their kids. And when his mom came, I'll be real with you, when his mom came, You could see the absence of a connection. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe I'm a little prejudging, a little misjudging. I'll be wrong. I'll be willing to be wrong, but I bet I'm not. I bet I'm not. Her her vibe, her atmosphere, the way that she spoke to him, it was very casual, as if you're just going home. If they suspend you for a few days, you just not gonna be able to play on your PlayStation or platform or whatever tablet. You know what I'm saying? Like he's playing. Like she was very calm about the whole situation. And we're like, your son is in the third grade. He just got kicked out of one school. He's damn near about to get kicked out of this one. And it took 5 adults to wrestle him down. It really didn't take 5 people. I mean, I was strong enough to handle it by myself. But you know what I mean? It took multiple people to get this dude to calm down, to try to process. And we were just talking to him. So he ended up leaving. His mom left. And I don't know, man. Some of like my really good friends are single moms. And I know it's tough. I know it's tough. I know as a single guy who's never had kids, I have no idea what you go through. I know. But what I do know is that my mom raising me, and my dad lived like 30 minutes away. So he was there, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, raising me in the house with just me and her as an only child, she made sure she had some emotional connection to me. She made sure I could cry and feel okay to cry, and tell her what was wrong with me, and tell her if somebody was bullying me, and tell her if somebody did something crazy. Like, she kept a very, very open emotional channel and connection for me. And that literally, I think it saved my life. And here's why I get emotional. Because when I think about the little dude, he's super cool. He's smart. Like from just my little time that I spent with him, you could tell he has a good heart. He's got some things he's dealing with. He doesn't know how to fully process how he feels. You do the slightest little thing to him and he just reacts. He goes to level 10. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl was sitting in his seat. He's about to flip the girl out the chair. And then the crazy part is he ran back in the room. Once we got him away, he ran back in the room to try to punch the little girl in the side and punched her in the side. Right? Now that's crazy. That is crazy. But that's an outpouring. That's a call. That's a cry for some therapy, for some help. And do I matter? Do you see me? That's a home, something at home that he ain't gonna get from his parents. And don't get me wrong, there's amazing teachers all over the country trying to save kids. But parents, you gotta do your job. You have to do your job. We gotta save these boys, like for real. You can tell this video is very real. I just recorded this when I got home. Hold on. Interestingly enough, that was my mother calling me. But I got emotional just a second ago because you and I both know what will happen to this little third grade black boy if he never gets the right type of therapy, if nobody can really make that connection and break through, if moms can't do it, if somebody at school can't do it, if people like me who he sees randomly on, one day to come in and do something fun for him, you know what I mean, can't make that connection and get him to realize how powerful he is and how amazing he is and how much loved he is by the people around him. Those little boys, I don't even want to say it. It's the pipeline to prison. It's the pipeline to prison. You already know what's going to happen. You already know his options are going to be very few. You already know he's going to be labeled, and then they're going to throw him in special ed, and he's going to get all these reports written up. The school's not going to want him. Teacher's not going to want to deal with him. Nobody's going to want to deal with him, to restore him, to help him. And he's in the third grade. So he's already on a path that's very dangerous. And the bad part about this is I don't work in education. I mean, I do, but not like in a traditional sense. Y'all know, Limitless, I teach kids and adults how to, get started with the stock market. But what I do is fun. People like what I do. It's fun. It's easy. I'm not your teacher. I'm not there every day. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing those issues and talking to your parents and grading your homework. So I realize I have a limited view, but I know black males. I do. I've studied us. I am one. I have these honest conversations with all of my guys and have had for years. I've been a mentor. I've been mentored. So what do we do? Unfortunately, there's probably hundreds of thousands of little black boys that fit the similarities of the situation I just outlined to you guys. A mom who seems to be emotionally not deeply connected or affected by the fact that her 8, 9-year-old is getting kicked out of school, has gotten kicked out of one, is about to get kicked out of another, is so far behind academically that the goal isn't even to educate him. The goal is just to get him to go from class to class and just have some sort of level of responsibility and learning. And when I get mad, I can process that. I can pause. Like, I don't have to let every single thing or everything that somebody says trigger me. I have to be in control of my actions. Like, that's where they're at. Like, schools are straight doing therapy. Therapy. It's eye-opening. It's very eye-opening. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going to take from this. Hopefully I didn't offend you in no way. If you're a mom, you know I love moms. All of y'all I do. But the emotional connection piece is key. And as a son of a, mom who was a therapist, but who, made sure she kept that emotional connection, like I said, it's literally saved my life. And what I mean by saving my life is when we have all that built up rage and anger, it's going to come out positively or negatively. Period. There was so many times I wanted to get in fights in school. There was this one time some bullying was happening like the 10th grade, and I got my mother's little 22 and put it in my book bag. I was going to kill one of these niggas. Like, for real. Like, seriously. I had it all mapped out. All mapped out. And then I thought about the fact that if I killed them and I went to jail, I would feel good about it in the moment. But my mom would end up crying because she wouldn't have that connection. I wouldn't be able to see her. And literally, the fact that I thought about not being able to see my mom was the only thing that stopped me from literally taking her gun to school and shooting 2 dudes who I found like probably a year ago on Facebook. I ain't say nothing to them. This was like long, and I'd have forgiven them and all that stuff. I'm a grown man now, but I still remember the bullying. You know what I'm saying? I remember that rage. I remember that anger. My mom took me to a therapist in high school to talk out this stuff, to deal with it. She was a therapist, but was smart enough to take me to a therapist. You got to find some resources. There's free resources. There's people who will work with your kids. I know money's important and everything in this world is about money, but you gotta try. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to the signs. There's so many kids who are screaming out and nobody's listening to them and nobody's coming to their aid. So I say this as a community PSA. We got to do better. And I didn't make this just about the boys. I know, trust me, I know. In every home that's broken, that has some issues, mom's not there, father's not there, I know. This isn't just about black boys. I have a deep love for black girls too. Definitely. Today's story just happened to be, I went to a school to do some fun stuff, and the little boy ended up wilding out. And think about the little girl he hit. She's going to see him next week when he comes back from suspension. She's probably going to be a little scared of him. Because he literally tried to flip this little girl out of a chair and then came back in the room just to try to punch her. Matter of fact, he did punch her in the side. I ain't see it, but they told me he punched her in the side. She was crying. She was messed up. 3rd grade. I know this ain't even, for some of y'all, this ain't even special. It's like, yeah, this stuff happens all the time. If you work in schools, you see this stuff. I know you do. Especially public schools. Let's be real, especially in the hood. Not always in the hood, but I'm from Gary, Indiana. So I ain't some uppity Negro trying to look down on people from the hood. I'm from the hood. Ain't no nice parts of Gary, Indiana. It's all hood. So I can speak to my people, hopefully. And you can calm down a little bit if you feel like I'm being judgmental, because I'm not. I just care about these kids, man. I do. And it broke my little heart to hear him crying and to hear the real issue, because I was like, dang, like he needs more than the teachers. The teachers aren't therapists. They're there to teach. Mom's ain't a therapist. She needs to get him one. And I'm like, oh my God, like what do we do? Like how do we deal with thousands of kids who probably are having these types of like mental issues and going through stuff, and he got ADHD, probably ain't even taking his medicine. I don't know. I really don't know. When you watch this, man, post something positive. Post a strategy. Post something you've done for your child. Let's be solutions focused. I know I said a lot. I don't know how you're going to feel at the end of this. Hopefully you see my heart and you realize I want so much. I want so much for our kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Something positive, something to help mom, something resources, something. I don't know. I'm not a parent. I just feel, and I empathize deeply. Even though he was wrong, even though he needs some discipline, even though some of y'all are thinking he just need a good ass whooping, which he probably does on some level. I know parents don't whoop kids anymore. I get it. Whatever the discipline is, he needs more discipline. True, but there's a hurt in that little boy's heart that's allowing him to feel a certain way. And if you feel worthless and you don't feel like somebody loves you and you don't feel connected to somebody, guess what? You won't give a damn about your behavior. You won't give a damn about the teachers and what they're going to do. What they going to do to you when you already don't love yourself? There's nothing nobody could do to you at that point. There's literally nothing you could do. You know? So, I don't know, man. I'm done.